production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com
We were on the break!
with Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of The Break presented by LG OLED. We are here at SWBC Studios, and we apologize for starting the show 4 or 5 minutes late. Mr. Voch was late to the show, so apparently we gotta work around his time. The YouTuber. We gotta work around the YouTuber time around here.
That is true. I'm very busy.
But
Not as busy as you, though.
We're gonna get the show started, and I was gonna say for the second segment we're gonna do Bryan Broaddus segment, and then for the third one I thought, since Derek promised this a while ago and never got to it, we thought we'd open up the phone line. The phone calls, call us up, be nice, be good, keep it real if you want to.
We're doing all right.
Yeah. But here's the phone number real quick. I'll say it again later on the show. 888-855-2297. So I'll repeat it later. But wanted to get started and talk about some of the guys that were injured. Schottenheimer, he announced that he will open the 21-day window, return to practice window for Cooper Beebe, Siobhan Revel, and then DeMarvion Overshown. And on top of that, Jonathan Mingo, he will be activated off the injury reserve, and he's going to return to the 53-man roster. So wanted to go through each guy and discuss their potential return here shortly. Specifically, let's start with Cooper Beebe. I know you've mentioned the center position and some of the struggles that you've started noticing there currently. Yeah. What does this mean to have Cooper Beebe return to the lineup?
It's going to be massive. I just want to take a second and give a shout out to Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass. You guys did exactly what you were asked to do, and I know it's tough. And, I think everybody in the league is kind of having an offensive line problem. Shouts out to those guys. But you have a certain idea of what your offensive line can be. And they held it down for the handful of weeks, and that's what they are as backups. Can you hold it down for 2-3 weeks? But you're going to run into some dudes this week. I don't know if BB's going to be back this week, but there's some D lineman that's coming over the next 5 or so weeks to where you want to be powerful at, center again. So, Booker showed you like movement, run game stuff like that matters. I think BB being back will just push that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think Voch nailed this one perfectly. Yeah, you want that center back into the mix, and you're starting to run the football. It's getting to the point. Yeah, the Carolina game was kind of poor for you when it came to running. You're gonna need to play and have some power against some big inside guys. And he's mentioned about this week, we'll get into the Denver Broncos. They play a front that's a 3-4 front. So you're going to have to deal with a nose tackle, 2 tackles inside as well, with the nose tackle and then the ends and then the outside linebackers. So all that, it's going to be very similar to maybe what you saw a little bit with Carolina, and just the way that they play with big bodies inside. You just did not handle that particularly well. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge this week, but having BB back will surely give you a little bit more of an advantage of when you do run across these teams that have those big inside defensive players.
And now you feel a lot more comfortable knowing what you actually have in as far as depth there at the center position and also the rest of the linemen. Now, moving on to Siobhan Revel, I know he's a guy that we have all been excited and looking forward to having on the field, but we have yet to see it. So what are your realistic expectations for a guy like him?
This is the weird thing about corner. first of all, you kind of get drafted on, how you are as a man guy, but you could be a really good cover 3 corner for a team that's playing cover 3 better than some other guy that's just like a really good man corner. So the thing about Revel is you may look at him and say, well, he's a rookie and he may not be as, good or, may not have time on task like some of these other guys. But what if he knows exactly what Flus is trying to do? And if you go back to his film, if you just watch, he does a bunch of zone, a bunch of match. And match is basically, zone until it's man. And that's what he was really good at. And that's what made him, in Bryan's opinion, the best corner in the draft. He was like the second best for me. So it's not even about the whole rookie thing, because at corner, it's not like you're Tyler Booker and you got to wrestle with some grown man. At corner, if you can simply fit the system, and if you can communicate, I'm sure he's been, going over plays and stuff like that because he ain't really been practicing. So he's been getting mental reps. If he can go in and simply communicate better than someone like Kyrie Elam, and no diss to him, I just think he's more of a man cover guy than a zone match dude. If Revel can be a better zone match guy than somebody playing over him right now, I think it'll be a better fit for the Cowboys altogether.
Before his knee injury, I thought he was one of the best cornerbacks in the country. Yep. I love the way that he played at East Carolina. I think his story is fascinating by what he's been able to accomplish. I feel like if he wasn't hurt, Dallas would have never been able to draft him. You'd have probably had to draft him a lot higher than where they took him. And there's now the unknown is the player I saw before the knee injury was special. I don't know now what the player is that's coming off the knee injury. I know he's a hardworking guy. Everybody talks about him super positively when it comes to being on the field, when it comes to doing his assignments, when it comes to being diligent, all those things. I'm talking about working with Britt Brown and those guys. Everything to me has been super positive that way. Probably had a little setback in training camp, or this thing would have started a lot sooner. Now they're kind of dealing with that, but the timeline will probably be a lot like with Overshown. It'll probably be we'll see, if it's the 3 weeks, the 21 days, and then go for there. But this guy has the ability to come in and help you. The unknown for me right now is how is that knee injury going to affect him? Is it going to rob him of some opportunities of being that player that he once was?
Well, the good thing is you mentioned Britt Brown, and we know history has shown with this medical staff, they tend to do a really good job at bringing players back from major injuries. And I remember Jalen Smith. It was talked about how he could potentially never even play football again, and he did come back. So looking forward to it, and maybe the mental part of it doesn't affect him once he gets into the field, because that's another thing that can restrain you mentally and set you back a little bit. But I think that watching from the sidelines and just seeing everybody go, it fires you up. It fires you up to go back in there.
They've got a couple of things they've got a couple of these players that, man, if they both can come back from injuries, if they get Overshown and they get the cornerback, and those guys come in the second half and play to the level that we believe that they could play at, this would be huge for this defense.
Let's say Diggs as well, too. And we're just waiting on him to come out and say whatever it is that he's going to say about his incident and the situation. But you need him to come out and be better as well. And if Flus, last week they played man at like 49%, right? So that's what Diggs wanted to do. If Diggs can go out there and play good corner, if Revel can fit in, he ain't got to be a superstar. Just go fit in and be better than what we have. And if Overshown, I think it's asking a lot of him. Yeah. But last year, I actually learned about how the rehab, situation works, through him. Because I thought that if you just got hurt, I just thought that you just stayed hurt for a long time. But apparently it's how you attack rehab. Right. So Overshown got hurt the year before, and he came back last year. He was just fine. Like 10 toes down, I'm ready to fly around all over the place, and he didn't miss a step. So hopefully that him attacking his new rehab process that will get the same results. It's so unfair to ask Overshown, hey man, we're gonna bear the burden of this entire defense on you coming back. But it is what it is. Dak got the whole offense Overshown. Right. It's on you for defense play.
Yeah, and I think I'm not saying, hey, let's cut him some slack if he does kind of not play at the level that we're expecting him to. But you got to, because when you see him speak to the media and you see the efforts that he put in, you see that he has the utmost desire to be out there. He's been taking his rehab super serious, and then so that takes you respect the player, and you're like, okay, well, we know he's been putting in the work. We know he has that goal set for himself, and he's not as maybe some other players have been before, where they're not as serious when it comes to the commitment to the rehab. Now moving on to Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah.
Oh, were you gonna say something?
No. You just made a really good point, and when you make good points, I don't want to cut you off. I just go, that's a great point, because some people in Cowboy past, we would assume that they didn't work really hard at it, and they tore their ACL, they had a bad year, and they like retired after. We're like, damn, what was going on? And it just comes out later that they just didn't like football like that. They came back, went to another team, and they just quit football again. Overshown, like he's putting time into it. So I just thought you just made a really good point.
Yeah, he has strong desires, and I recently watched a video actually this morning from a fan that ran into some like autograph signing or something, and he did a video of him, and Overshown is just like, he's setting like comeback player of the year, a defensive player of the year.
He ain't
like,
getting that this year because that's Dak. So he ain't getting it this year.
But yeah, it's just he has those desire of like even MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. So he got the goal line and the goal set. That's awesome. And he's I think when you have those intentions, you can only bring good towards yourself.
I think it's important though what Voch said. I think they need a buy-in from Diggs.
Yeah.
And I say that in respect of Diggs. And his rehab was different.
Because he's talented and you know it.
Yeah, his rehab was different, and it was much talked about within the front office and ownership, and then, and the player and stuff. But honestly, you need him to play. You need him to be, if they're going to do some things differently scheme-wise and try and get a little bit cleaner analytics of like, okay, if this guy doesn't do well against man coverage, we play more man coverage. But, man, a buy-in from Diggs would be big right now. If he comes out and says, okay, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show you guys this, I'm going to show you that. And because I think there's a lot of disconnect right now between him and, and people in this organization. And I'd love to see for him to buy in, not just for just for himself, but for the guys, for the Dak Prescotts, for the guys on that offensive side, for the guys that are playing on defense. They need a buy-in from a talented player. And it would be nice if, in fact, after this concussion protocol stuff he's going through, that he could go out there and be the type of player that he's very capable of being.
Well, we've said it before, like the most important thing you can do for a game day is what you do during the week, your commitment during the week, because how you show up in the game, like you're not going to improve during a game automatically. It's what you put into to get there for that week. So I think that's where potentially we get better commitment, because I think we hear a lot of talks, we see things, and maybe
there's always two sides of the story, though.
Right.
There's the Diggs side and there's the front office side, and both sides.
We saw that at training camp.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying though. That I'm not going after Diggs here. I just feel like that they're going to need him.
Yeah.
They're going to need him, and I hope sitting out this past week kind of rekindled something to him. That hey, okay, yeah, I want to, if I have issues with front office or whoever, the coaches, whoever, just go out and play for your brothers. Go out and play for the guys that you share locker space with. Those are the guys you need to, not only for yourself, but go play and be the type of player you're capable of, and put a lot of this stuff behind you if you can. It might be very hard for him to do.
Well, real quick, before we go to break, yesterday you posed a question about were we freaking out about the wide receivers and trying to...
Oh, yeah.
Well, now with Mingo into the mix.
Who cares? Hey, look, and shouts out to Mingo, but Mingo's going to come in, he's going to block a whole bunch, and he may catch a pass or two, or get a target or two, or whatever like that. But I think we're, I don't want to say long gone past the days where we're over obsessing over who's not getting, pass or who is that's not named Lamb and Pickens. I think this thing is going to drive through those guys and run game. So when they're not catching passes, Javonte's catching.
Yeah.
Because like he was getting like 13 carries in week 1 or something like that. The last few weeks been like 19 and 20 and stuff like that. So I think the Cowboys want to lean into the run more. So more runs, less passes to go around. No disrespect, but I'm not throwing to Mingo when I could be throwing it to Lamb. But Mingo will catch his here or there. He'll block some.
Did you have anything?
No, we agree.
He's got him right.
All right, let's go right into break. And when we come back, I hate saying this, but what Derek always says,
Brian's got
we'll dive into Brian's brain
thoughts.
and mind.
Oh, okay.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com. Welcome back to the second segment of the break presented by blockchain.com. All right.
Did somebody think vibrate when the ding went?
It did, but I don't know what.
I think it was the computer there.
Do it again, baby. Hit it again. That's a damn coincidence. Some on the table vibrated when the ding.
Brian, take it away.
Thank you very much, AG. Appreciate that. Got some questions for my guys here, and kind of some things that was on my mind, and I want to know if it's on their mind as well. Voch, I'll start with you on this one. If you were the Broncos defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, who would you be more concerned about, CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens?
Listen, Brian Broaddus, you got to be careful with questions like that, man. You know, the internet's going to hear that. People in the chat and the audience, they're going to hear that. Let me just be clear. I think CeeDee Lamb is a better overall receiver. I think him and Dak Prescott have a fantastic connection. CeeDee Lamb makes a bunch of high IQ plays, you know. But if you wanted to take CeeDee Lamb away, it ain't easy, but there's a path to do it. You know, you can set up some things and structure some coverages and maybe kind of take away CeeDee. Kind of like they'll take tight ends away because Dak, targets those guys, right? It is really difficult in a one-on-one situation to take George Pickens away. It's incredibly difficult. You talk about Vance Joseph. Now we have personnel details of that, right? You can like shadow CeeDee Lamb because he'll be moving all over the field and stuff. You know, you can put a guy on him and man and then zone the rest of it. If there's ever a look in the game where Pickens has one-on-one, out of all the 7 weeks that we've seen him, it's either been a catch or pass interference.
Yeah.
It's been a catch or damn PI, Brian Broaddus. So for the sake of this conversation, which is a well-crafted question, Brian Broaddus, I think Lamb is the better receiver. I think GP would give a coordinator a bigger headache because he's so difficult in a one-on-one situation.
You know, I agree with everything you said.
Please.
I'll be like, Brian, excellent point, Voch.
And that'll be true. Thank you. Gracias. I was saying gracias.
But at the same time, I will say this week specifically, and one is healthier than the other. Still, Pickens is healthier than CD, and CD had a wonderful game last week, but there were times where when he's getting up, you see a little limping going on, and he's fighting through it. But you can tell that he's not at 100%. So for that reason, if there's someone for you to fear the most, is the one that's healthy 100%, and then on top of that, a freaking badass. Like, he can catch that ball just like you said, like
anywhere,
most often than not.
Yeah.
He had one of the most impressive catches I've seen in a while this past weekend, where I don't even know how he caught that, but he caught that pass. So, yeah, I will say Pickens for sure.
Is he turning into your number one receiver?
I don't think so. Because I think, like I said, Lamb and Dak are like locked in.
Sure.
And they can do all things. And look, I don't even want to call Pickens like a sidekick. It's not like Batman or Robin. It's like Justice League. You just Aquaman. You just one's good in the.
What's wrong with Aquaman?
One's good in the hood. One's good in the water, Bryan Bros. It just is what it is. But I just think they do things totally different.
Interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Pardon me. They just do things differently. And I think it's really going to be matchup dependent, right? I think, all right, this week, Marshawn Lattimore, you're going to be running around with Pickens all day? All right, we'll find you. Okay, Sandra Steele. I think we got lucky with the Washington Football Wizards having two weird corners that we can kind of go after. I think next week when it's like Surtain and Riley Moss, I won't say what I said earlier, but when it's you can say it, but I can't.
No.
When it's Surtain, maybe Surtain takes one guy away. Kind of like if we look at the Jets game, right? Sauce Gardner for the most part took GP away. GP had a big play, but he was taken away for the most part. But Florida had 9 catches.
Right.
I think it's going to be matchup dependent.
Well, I also think, even though I've been saying for several weeks how much I appreciate the fact that Brian Schottenheimer, he's being like on a merit basis, basically, when he plays players and when he gives them priority and things like that. But with CD, this is different. Like, I think it would take a lot for you. And I see what you're doing, Brian.
I'm not doing anything.
But I think it's
Just
still going to take a lot for them to kind of fully take that main role away from him. And I think it all goes back to the balance. Like, they just create opportunities for each other. So when you have...
Is that a frustrating question I asked then?
It's not frustrating. No. It just requires nuance and just a little bit of thought. Because I think what the internet wants to do is they want to just come out
one or the other.
George Pickens is better than CeeDee Lamb. I think there's going to be, and think about it like this, right? Lamb had an easy 100-something yards last week. You know what I mean? How many times have you looked up at like Pickens and he's made a bunch of big catches? You go, damn, 80-something yards. I thought you had 150 by now because it just looks more difficult. Lamb got an easy 117 yards. Think about the Eagles game where Lamb ended up with 117 yards, but 3 drops that could have been an additional 90-something yards, right? I think we can get a little carried away with the new toy, but don't get it mistaken. Pickens is phenomenal, and sign him right now, Jerry. If you're listening, you're probably not because you're busy talking about some other player.
He's in New York at the owners' meeting right now.
Well, he's
working on some trades.
Derek listening. Derek, go ahead and get
He is not listening either.
Derek
right
listening
now.
either. Don't worry about it.
All right, AG, I got one for you.
Like, who is listening?
My mom's listening. She appreciates our show.
Mama Broaddus, please go ahead and sign GP. Please.
Okay, AG, was this a turn the corner game for Clowney?
You could say so. I think you got to start somewhere when you start turning a corner. I will say it does bring more confidence. It lights up a new fire in you. I think when you do find some type of success, you just are prone to keep building on that. Now, I love to talk about consistency. We got to wait and see what happens now against Denver. But at the moment, I would say, yeah, you could say turn the corner and maybe now he goes in theirs and commands the defense differently, because we talked about leadership in there. And you're like, okay, well, who is the leader? Whose voice are you listening to?
Sure.
Well, the voice you listen to is whoever's the one making plays.
Right.
So I think that's the key for me, is that hopefully he can now take that and start building that leadership into it and just kind of push that energy towards everybody else and help in the communication as well.
Bocce, what do you got there? Is this a turn the corner game for Jadeveon Clowney?
We really can add him to the list of guys that we mentioned earlier that we need to kind of show up and be good later. I would say so, 100%. It'll be nice to have an extra dude like step up and be a good pass rusher. And I do think that this room will eventually figure itself out. I'm not shooting shots at anybody, but Sam played a little less this week. James Houston played a little more this week. Right. I don't like that James Houston played against Laramie Tunsil the whole game.
No, I don't either.
I would have loved it if Flus would have moved him around a little bit to kind of help us in that matchup a little bit. But things are changing. We are noticing things changing. Shouts out to this coaching staff for noticing that as well. I think Donovan Ezraku is also on the way up. He's been a guy that's been involved more. So I think you could just use Clowney badly right now. So it ain't just Clowney needing to be like, we need Clowney to be great to take that next step. So if we go out there and have another game, cool. And hopefully it's just those first few games. He was a little rusty. Mm-hmm. Hey man, I've been sitting on the couch. I didn't really have a camp. I've been working out, but I just kind of popped up and played football, and I look weird for 2 weeks. And maybe last week was Clowney getting his feet wet a little bit. I hope that that's what it was. And versus the Broncos, we could see much more Clowney.
All right, I'll come back to you on this one then, Voch.
Hell yeah, Bryan. Chill out.
This will be the last one because I know you want to get to some calls, AG.
Ambar gonna leave at 45. So it don't matter.
Hey,
but I want to give the fans some opportunity if they want to call in.
For sure.
Voch, what do you think of Shamar James as a player?
Gives you some energy, give you some juice. For some reason, the youth comes on the field and things start to spark a little bit. Could be because they're hungry for an opportunity. I think as a player, when you limit his responsibilities is when he's at his best. So him being a green dot guy may not be in his best interest, but he's been really good at his run fits. Mm-hmm. So if his job is, hey, Shamar, you got B gap and then figure it out.
Right.
He's been really good at stepping up in his gap and then figuring it out. Hey, Shamar, you're blitzing this play. Mm-hmm. And I think Flus has kind of gotten a groove with the blitzing linebacker situation. He got a sack last week. So I think that they're going to be looking more into that. And honestly, this would have been an interesting conversation if Clark was doing more.
Sure.
But maybe he's not. So we're seeing most of those reps go to Shamar.
Right.
Sanborn was active, right?
He was.
Sanborn didn't get reps, though.
Right.
So maybe the coaching staff is trusting him as well, Bryan. So just as a player, look, stay active, keep doing your thing, and if you got one job, do your one job. I'll say this about a young guy, too. Mm-hmm. They're not as inclined to play hero ball as much because they ain't really got experience, trying to be hero guy.
Right.
They're more than likely going to show up and just do whatever their job is. So if Shamar's doing his job, keep doing your job. I don't hate it at all. Just do right there. And this defense works on you doing your job and not being extra.
AG, does he look like a better player than, say, Maris Leofau at this point?
He playing more.
At times, I will say, literally the only thing that I feel like I'm lacking from Shamar James is something that only comes with time, and that's instinct. That is how quickly you react to something, or seconds before it's happening, where you know how to read things ahead of time, get ahead of time. Anticipation. Yes, that's the only thing, but that only comes with time. I think he's doing his assignments. You mentioned youth. He has exactly that. The youth with the juice that goes in there and is just energetic. I think he's someone that can be a better tackler, like in the future. I think once that confidence comes in with the anticipation, it will improve his tackling as well because he'll get there a lot faster. So I'm super excited about the future for him, but that's literally the only thing I could say right now. And you can't accelerate time because it only comes with every Sunday night, every game, every game day. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and go to our break.
Thanks,
I don't know how many more you had, Brian.
That's it.
That's it?
Good to go.
Brian got
All right.
more, but he going to the
I know,
radio.
I know.
He don't do it on the radio. I guess
Let's go ahead and go to the break, and we'll start taking some calls. The phone number is 888-855-2297.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything. Welcome back to the third segment of the break. And like I like to keep my promises, we said we're going to get some phone calls, and we are. So our first caller is Bryan from Denver.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's happening?
Yeah. Amber, thanks for all you do at the mothership. And I'm a subscriber to both your guys' YouTube channels, Voch and Broaddus. So that's great. But, man, Brian Broaddus, I got so mad at you in the offseason when you said that Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin were better than Dak and CD.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I forgive you now. But as far as this game goes, I am going to the game, and I just bought a blue Javonte Williams jersey to troll all the fans. And I know that the Cowboys don't really ever show up in Denver, so I'm hoping that changes. And I'm calling a 69-yarder walk-off kick in the elevation for Aubrey.
Okay.
For the Dubs.
Okay. Did you have a question?
No question. I just wanted to tell you guys that.
Sure. You wanted to tell me I was wrong.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting.
Thanks for the call, Brian.
I'm still waiting for Dak and CD to get in that NFC Championship game together, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Amber, did you hear him say, "Man, Brian Broad"? Did you hear him say
Yeah, he did.
Boy, we just reached the reach.
Oh God!
Thank you for the call.
Thank
you for the call.
We got followers over there.
They're my listeners. They're my family. We got
but thank you, Brian, for the call. And I'm interested to see with the elevations. I remember that one game.
Last time you were there, there was
that
a
one
weather delay.
game,
Yeah.
everyone played bad. Everybody. And everyone was like, wow, is it the elevation? They can't breathe. They're out there struggling, which is it's a fact. It's a scientific fact that the elevation does.
Scientifical. I love that word.
Yeah.
What's that in Spanish? Scientifico.
Ciencia. Es algo científico.
Científico.
Yeah, that the elevation affects your lungs. But
Come on, man. We use science to. We use science to combat the sun the other day. We're fine with science.
We got satellite images.
Yeah, we know the altitude. We know how high it is. They walk in there and they remind you how high it is. It's called the Mile High City.
The Mile High. All right, let's go ahead and take our second call. John in New Mexico.
What up, John?
Hey guys, how you doing? Appreciate you guys taking my call. Long-time fan, long-time listener. Bryan, I've been listening to you since you were on the break with Derek and Mickey, and you guys were butting heads since then. So I appreciate all you guys do.
I miss Mickey. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I said it. Just and to your question, Clowney, I think he's getting his footing. Honestly, I think that he's finally getting into football shape, and hopefully with Eberflus and him changing a little bit up, I'm hoping our defense can come around and we can actually see, and us Cowboy fans, hopefully they will be the team we think they are, and because of this defense, because the offense, is what it is. But I just wanted to get on, first-time caller. Just wanted to say thank you guys for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Voch, nice hearing a new voice on the radio.
Appreciate you.
And Amber, somos Cowboys. Escuchan esto también. Y gracias por todo.
Hey, gracias.
Say it again. What did I say? What you said? Say it again.
In Voch language, I said thank you for what she does, and I listen to Somos Cowboys también.
I got you, John. Appreciate you, man. Great call.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for the call. A true fan right there.
Yeah,
did you follow Somos Cowboys already?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to check.
The number went up one time. So that was me. I'm that one.
But with Clowney, I think I hope you guys are right. I hope that this is a turnaround moment for him and that it was just getting back into football shape.
We need him. Because look, when
when was it that he got here?
2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
Yeah, he was out the first week. He played Carolina.
So he's been here a month, basically.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's fair to call him some slack.
Yeah, we need a ton of defense because when I'm watching some of these other teams and they're playing much better defense than we do, and then I see their offenses, I say, man, I was watching Gibbs last night for the Lions. And I was like, hey, man, I don't think we got enough guys right now to deal with that. Or just watching Baker and what he does, or like the Patriots, or the Chiefs and all this kind of stuff. Like teams that we got to play. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's just looking rough. So I think you have the offense to compete with anybody. We just need some defense. And I think more than just some. Like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, just a little bit more defense will be better. I think the offenses that we played the past few weeks aren't going to be like the offenses that we're going to play. So we need a ton of help, I think. So that's why this little rumor that's floating around that got me glued to my phone. Well, it'll be
Voch is freaking out. But we won't talk about it on the show. You guys can go and check it out on Twitter and all that. And if the news break, they break. But right now we don't have anything confirmed, so we will not discuss it on the show. Let's go ahead and take our third caller. Voch, it's all right. You're going to make it. It's all right. You'll be all right. Well, you hang in there.
Who is it?
Hang in there. We got Nelson from North Carolina.
What's up, Nelson?
Hey, guys. How's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Thank you.
How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. So my question basically is for Bryan, and I was just wondering, like, with the re-signing of George Pickens looming, do you think this front office would be less inclined to go after a big-time edge rusher, or what? I'm just kind of curious.
I think that
looming over their heads.
Yeah, I think that if you sign Pickens, that would be. I think then now you start talking about drafting defensive players is what you do. I think now it turns into the picks you have, the first couple of picks. You're going to have to address. Well, do you need a linebacker? Do you need a safety? Do you need a corner? Do you need a defensive tackle? Do you need an edge? I think that. Dallas is going to be very specific, and we'll see how their first pick, how their own pick falls in line. If they keep playing well, Green Bay keeps playing well, there's 2 picks there at the bottom of the first round that you're going to have to deal. So I kind of feel like that they're right now, if Pickens is re-signed, then you're probably looking at taking those picks and going and getting defensive players.
We'll see what happens with that. I know that a lot of people are already pressuring to sign Pickens and do something already now that the...
Well, Jerry Jones this morning before our show talked about this on the radio. He on 105.3 The Fan. He said that there's been a lot of conversations about George Pickens and on many different levels. And so, in being a part of a front office, there are all kinds of things that you do talk about, and you talk about, hey, what are our chances to re-sign him? Have we done that? The cap guys will then speak up and say, well, this is what it's going to potentially cost us, and then how it's going to affect us in the future. The pro personnel guys are saying, well, I talked to a couple of teams about potential trades. This is how that would look if we were interested in moving on from George Pickens. Just again, this is conversations that you have at these levels.
Yeah.
And then there's the conversations from the coaching staff or the head coach. It's like, listen, if you take him away or we keep him, this is what we can kind of do in the future. If we move on from him, do we feel good enough about the other receivers that are in line? So when Jerry Jones is talking about a wide range of conversations, it's exactly what I just walked you through. There's the coaching side, the scouting side, and then there's the front office or the cap guys that will determine, which way you go.
Let's take our final call. We have Leo in Houston.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Leo.
Hey.
What up, Leo?
Hey, listen, I know we've got this running game going, right? It's doing fairly well. What would happen if we lost a couple of linemen and Jake Ferguson got hurt? Would that hurt us? I know Jake Ferguson is really opening up some things. Is he a better blocker now, and is that why we're having a good success along with the O-line?
Well, your run scheme is fantastic. That's part of it. And you have lost a whole bunch of offensive linemen. You just played some games where you lost 4 of them.
You won a game where you lost 4.
Yeah, you lost 4 of them. So, you have some pretty good depth on your offensive line, and you have a good run scheme. Clayton Adams need to get a brown paper bag full of money on his desk to hang around one more year. And I think your play caller, head coach, is calling the right plays at the right time, and he's committing to the run game and not just saying that he is.
Scheme, play caller, quarterback all help in the running game. But on the other hand, scheme, offensive line, running back helping the quarterback.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of marrying going on right now like Dak needed this, but man, I'll tell you what, the Cowboys needed a scheme and a coaching staff that can implement with nobody invests more in offensive line play than the Cowboys when you start to talk about resources of high picks and soon to be paid guys.
Well, and I think personally, some of the things I've seen also with other players, it's improved blocking. I mean, we talk about even
I think that
Hunter
Spanford
is ridiculous.
Spanford.
Much more than Ferguson.
Yeah.
Much more. Ferguson has done some cool stuff, but it's
Tolbert
been
at times.
Spanford, Lipke, those guys have been nice the way they've.
I think compared to last year, you've definitely seen that area.
Yeah.
Improve absolutely from last year. All right, well, with that, we end the show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, for calling.
Good job, Ambar. The show did not crumble with Derek not being here.
Are you kidding me?
You did great. Can they see me in the camera?
Get out of here.
Can they see me?
Get out of here.
I got to reach way over here. I can't even reach.
I'm not even, no matter, it doesn't matter if you reach.
That's crazy.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
No, seriously, you did great. You did great.
Good job, Clowney.
You did great.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Micah left, so now she got to be good.
So dumb. Oh, my God. All right, well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Bryan.
You buying lunch today, Ambar?
Thank you, Voch. And thank you, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow. Derek will be back in the show tomorrow.
Oh, man, I hate that.
Oh, wow.
Denver offense.
All right. We will have the full breakdown of the Broncos offense versus the Cowboys defense, and we'll see how that matchup looks for Voch Lombardi.
Huh? Who?
Lombardi. Bryan Broaddus.
Sounded cool.
And Ambar Garcia. This has been The Break on DallasCowboys.com/radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!